Hello and welcome to episode 82 of Critical Strike. I'm Kyle. Here with me is Josh.
Hello.
And Bill.
Hi.
I don't like that one. How come it can't be Billy? How come it can't happen to Bill? How come it's me?
Because Bill doesn't like penises in his belly button.
You know, I was watching Police Academy today, and they went to that gay bar. Remember that? When gay was still funny in America?
Yeah. But wait a minute, it still is.
Yeah, that's why we keep Kyle on the show.
Ooh. At least I'm funny.
Yeah, according to all our comments, you are really funny. Is that what we should do? Should we go right into questions and comments? Because, you know...
I guess. It's very odd that everyone just... It's like you emanate some sort of pheromone that makes people want to pick on you.
Yeah.
Was high school just brutal for you?
Yes, middle school. My personal life. Yeah, maybe you're right, but I don't know how that pheromone
it's digital.
Presents itself over the...
It's a digital pheromone.
It's a series of ones and zeros.
It just sprays out of your CD-ROM. Which is lucky for you, because Bill doesn't have a CD-ROM.
Mm-hmm.
So he has yet to hate you.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so I guess we'll go into questions and comments first. We typically don't have that many, because I'm usually too lazy to ask for them, and Kyle never does anything with the show.
Nope.
So...
Well, the things I do, you're like, we're not going to do that anymore.
I can't remember a single one. But anyways...
What about that section where we talk about games, Josh? That's out.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
That's gone.
Games are stupid. Only because Kyle likes them.
We're just going to talk about generators.
Generators and hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like Bill's second episode in the show, he's like, hey, Critical Strike is recording soon. Does anybody have any comments? I saw that and I was like, wow, let's do this. So yeah, Kyle, why don't you read off the first question that we have?
So JSS Lifelike, also known as Steve Dave, asked, is it true that Pop won't see me as a man until I kill a dragon outside of a pixie-ass video game?
And me as in Kyle. You know, that could have been interpreted as lifelike.
Okay, me in brackets, so people understand that I filled in a word.
And when is he known as Steve Dave? What the hell is that?
He's been known as Steve Dave for a long time, since we had him on the show.
Really?
We were trying to figure out how to introduce him, because that's back when we said people's last names and
didn't
everything.
We call him Steve Dan?
It was Steve Dave, Steve John, John Dave, stuff like that. Because John's his first name or something like that. No, Steve is it? Yeah. So anyways.
It sounds a lot like Josh is a Liar episode 1.
So we ended up just calling him Steve Dave. And that's how it stuck. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because JSS Lifelike was too difficult to say. So we just give us a name. Just give us something.
Yeah. Steve Dave Conger.
And yes, it's true, Pop won't see me as a man until I kill a dragon outside of a pixie-ass video game.
So enthusiastic with that answer.
Which you can imagine is very difficult. So, Pop will never see me as a man. Ever.
Maybe you could kill one of those
Even
kimonos
then,
or
will
something.
Pop honestly see you as a man?
No, he won't, because he's a dick.
Mm.
And I also like how the Pop thing is spread into other people now. That one fateful Saturday conversation.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people think
guys.
he's real.
Pop and Carl both spawned from that one freaking comment.
Oh, yeah, Carl came from that too.
Oh, that was so great.
I played the Carl clip from last episode to my brother, where you said, everybody calls you Carl now, Paul, Nancy, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even when we were up in Fun Spot this past summer, he was calling you Carl.
It's just something I've come to accept. Carl is a nickname now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a terrible, terrible nickname.
All right, and we got another question there from Mr. Pete Dodd. Bill, why don't you read that one off?
Well, it's from Pete. I just got a new computer, Dodd. He asks, question for K.R. Dumond. Why are the goblins outside during the day in War of the North? That's Poppycock.
It's not really a question. It was a question. question followed by a statement. And yes, he is. That is true. That is Poppycock. I don't know why the goblins are out in the middle of the day.
It is
I
bothersome.
don't know. It's bothersome.
I got the privilege of listening to Mike and Pete finish that game on co-op last night. And it was just, they kept kind of digging at you a little bit. Because they're like, oh man, these goblins are out during the day. Why is that? And that's really only something that Kyle would notice.
No, I noticed it. It makes no sense.
All right, maybe.
It'd be like a
you,
vampire
Bill.
game where you're fighting them outside in the daylight half the time.
Yeah.
Bill, I hope you know that vampires can go out during the day and they sparkle.
No, real
Sunlight?
vampires like 40 days a night or whatever, not those pixie ones that sparkle.
I like how pixies become the new insult.
Well, they are. And hey, look, there's a commercial for it on TV right now. Wow, that looks
Nice.
fucking terrible.
Isn't that
You
where you
get-
got your name from, though?
What?
Billy Black.
No.
He's the werewolf heartthrob in that. Don't you know?
Yeah.
What?
Wait,
He's played by that guy who looks like a llama.
What? What exactly happened? I lost myself. I was drifting off during the J-Lo Fiat commercial. There was some vampire talk, and now where are we?
Kyle's talking about a guy looking like a llama.
I'll show you a picture.
All right.
Like llamas that spit llamas?
Yeah, like kind of like an alpaca, but not really.
I like freaks. Maybe I will watch it.
All right. Also, we have a comment from Mr. Master Germ, also known in Kyle's world as Master Gem.
Yep. Because I'm retarded.
Yeah, you are. I love how Pete still brings that one up. But he said, well, I already found out why Kyle is a dick. Go Bruins, fuck the Flyers. And that's really all he has.
Oh, thank you, Master Jim.
It's very concise.
Master Germ does not care for your love of the Flyers.
Oh, apparently neither do you.
Well, let's be... All right.
Do you think your love of the Flyers is more or less than Pop Pop's love for you?
I would. Well, I don't know. What if Pop Pop's just being a dick? Because deep down inside, he really loves me, but
Are you trying to
his
say
father
Pop
abused him
Pop is
so
Severus
much.
Snape?
Well, no,
He
because
does
he
wear
was really
black a
only in
lot.
it for himself. He didn't actually like him.
Yeah.
But, you know,
He only liked him because he wanted to bang his eyes.
And you talk about me wrecking Harry Potter. Now that's all I'm going to see now is whenever he gives him that creepy look, it's because he wants to fuck his eyes.
Well, why don't you go back and say why Kyle said you wrecked Harry Potter?
I thought that was on tape. Wasn't it on tape?
It was recording, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's probably best not to repeat that. Let's just pretend it's not.
All right.
I watch movies on mute and sometimes insert my own lines.
Well,
And in my world, Dumbledore is an insufferable prick.
who calls the children?
Well, the way he looks at him when you watch him talk, he looks very angry a lot of the time.
Yeah. Or horny.
Well, yeah, there's that, but let's
Well,
just
he is
keep away
gay.
from that. Yeah, that's true too.
Well, so back to the Flyers comment, Kyle. I don't hate you for your love of the Flyers because really you're not a fan of the Flyers. You're a pseudo fan, and also the Flyers are a pathetic team. So yeah, there you go.
That's a great
I'm not going to get into
explanation.
a fight about this.
Okay, I just put it out there.
Okay.
Go Master Germ, Bruins rule, and fuck you for fucking up his name.
Now you got to make me feel bad.
I don't know. It's what I do.
You do pretty well.
I know. I try. All right. So why don't we get into the shindig and go into what Kyle likes to call what we've all been playing, because he invented talking about games on an audio recording, and this is the last time we're going to do it. So,
What?
It's like a radio show, but people download it.
right.
That's how I have to explain what a podcast is. It's an online radio show.
Who do you explain that to? Your mom?
To Nancy at first.
I think it's when he pulls out his Critical Strike frisbees he had made up.
Actually, no, they're business cards.
I remember the one time that my mom asked me about it. My parents know about the show, but I do not let them listen to it. They've never listened to a second of the show.
You control their internet usage? I didn't know you were like Time Warner.
No, they go, hey, can I listen to some? And I go, no, you can't. And they're like, why? I said, because I say some bad things.
You're a terrible son.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm protecting them from what I say. I don't want them to hear about Kyle getting fucked in the belly button.
I'm pretty sure your parents have an idea of who you are, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, fuck that then. All right, Carl. So what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing quite a few games, but since it was brought up in a question,
You've been playing hockey?
yeah, I've been playing hockey, and I've been playing Lord of the Rings War in the North. I was very excited to get this game because I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan,
Yes.
and it was awesome to go and cut up some folk, specifically some goblins, and then I went and cut up some barrow wights. That was pretty fun. I did co-op with Pete and eventually Mick.
I know nothing about this game.
Okay, so it's...
Didn't you rent it?
I did.
So you know something about it.
I have yet to put it in my system.
So it's a parallel story that goes along with the Lord of the Rings. So instead of following Frodo and Sam and all those guys, it follows these three jerks.
So there's 2 One Ring groups that move the One Ring?
Oh,
No,
no.
there's only
the
one
brown wizard
One
told
Ring.
Gandalf about the war in the north.
Okay. So
Radagast.
you're taking the other One Ring to the...
No, there
dwarves?
is no other ring. There's only the one ring.
They
and
were
that's down
holding the
south.
enemy troops at bay in the north so that they weren't crushed.
Oh, okay.
The Dunedain.
Yep.
And is it a Diablo style game, kind of? Like,
It's pretty hack and slashy.
okay.
But I wouldn't say it's a Diablo. You know what? It is a Diablo style game because you go in, you go get some loot.
So it's
kill some
basically like
more
a
things.
top-down adventure hack and slash.
Yeah, it is for the most part.
Okay.
The view point's different, obviously. I had a few issues with it, and that's kind of why I stopped playing with it.
Oh, you've stopped completely.
Yeah.
I only played for maybe half an hour. I talked to Aragorn and then I was out.
You didn't even fight anything.
Well, I fought a little bit of people, but not much. I made it into the first little tomb, we'll say.
Yeah.
That's about all the farther I made it and went back to playing Battlefield.
Yeah. So the whole thing is you're trying to kill the enemy general, so you're going through his main staging area, and you go and fuck shit up. But the way the AI controls the characters is bad, and you made fun of me, Josh, because yes, the AI is bad in a multiplayer game.
What? When did I make fun of you?
Someone made fun of me. It might have been Mick. It
No,
probably
I
was
didn't make
Mick.
fun of you. I never make fun of you.
No, never.
Oh, we've bled into Josh's Liar, episode 6.
All right.
So I was playing alone for a while, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that you couldn't control the other characters in any other way except for attack this thing, defend this thing, and even at that point, they didn't do it that well.
I was playing alone for a little while, and I didn't like it.
No, I
was
didn't.
Sitting in my room, and I was sad that nobody would play with me.
You couldn't equip your characters. You couldn't upgrade their abilities.
Yeah, what's the story? So when you level, they're done automatically?
From what I've gathered, they do it automatically, and it just sort of disperses the skills and their techniques evenly across the board. So instead of getting a really good spellcaster, you have a mediocre spellcaster with health and dexterity.
I don't know. Like, I guess in Mass Effect, I always just let the computer level up the other people because I just got tired of caring.
Well, that's like in Diablo 3, it handles the leveling up for you.
Yeah, it sounds though like people they don't do it a very good job, perhaps.
No, they don't.
So what's the story with co-op? Isn't there something funny with that too, where it's like you can't just drop in, drop out? It's only the person with the lowest storyline progress and nonsense like that.
It is. Pete tried to join my game, and it's like, oh, we can't let you do that because you haven't gotten to this part yet. So we're going to have to create a new save and create a new character for you.
Oh.
And I was like, you know what? Let's just back out, and we'll go into your game.
That's stupid.
Yeah, why would they do that?
Yeah. The combat is really fun. Absolutely ruining everything in your path is awesome. But the story is kind of flat. The characters are kind of flat.
Well, it's Lord of the Rings.
You shut your whore mouth.
Yes. You shut your whore mouth indeed, Josh. It's sad that the best character in the game is this eagle that you rescue. This giant talking eagle.
It's not Frito?
If Peter Jackson really wanted to blow me away with those Rings movies, he would have ended the third one on the logical closure point, not the 25 endings that followed.
What's the logical closure point?
Yeah, friend. Enlighten us.
When fucking Frito wakes up from his little coma or whatever, and the little hobbits are jumping up and down on his bed, and Sam leans in the doorway and gives him that very fucking gay look.
Not the rings, Randall. Say what you will about Jesus, but leave the rings out of this.
I'm gonna kick your ass back to the Shire if you don't shut your fucking mouth.
That look was so gay, I thought Sam was going to tell the little hobbits to take a walk so he could saunter over to Frodo and suck his fucking cock. Now that would have been an Academy Award-worthy ending.
Hey, faggot! They're not gay. They're hobbits.
And then right after the Sam Frodo suckfest, right before the credits roll, Sam fucking flat out bricks in Frodo's mouth.
Frito isn't the best character?
Who the hell's Frito?
It's his proto-Spanish hobbit cousin.
So
he looks like that other kid in that Mel Gibson movie where he was old and then he was young or something.
Now all I can think of is Danny Glover.
What?
Oh.
You mentioned Mel Gibson, so now all I can think of is Lethal Weapon.
I like that that's where your mind goes. I
I'm
go to
getting
like
too old
Mad
for this
Max
shit.
or racism. You go to Danny Glover.
Yeah, I went to racism too. Racism and his crazy Colonel Sanders mustache that he had for a while.
Like every time he hears Mel Gibson, I just see Josh looking at the floor. He's like, he's so close to retirement.
I just do the neck movement.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
Alright.
the Eagle's the best character. He's the best animated, the best voice acted, and he's awesome because you pretty much just go, you point him to something, and he just comes in off the screen, destroys it, rends it, tears it apart, and then flies away again.
that's cool.
And the eagle talks.
The Eagle talks.
Yeah,
Like I
heard
said,
about that.
best voice acting in the game from that Eagle.
I'm going to
He's the best
imagine
character
that
in the
he's
game.
Irish, an Irish eagle.
No, he's not Irish.
I'm gonna pretend he is.
Are you going to play the game on mute?
Frito, get your cunt ass over here.
Aragorn has a foul, foul mouth. Fucking hobbits.
But there's no hobbits in that game.
Wait, yes, there is. I talked to one in the beginning.
Oh, yeah,
I played a little game of logic with him, and then I stabbed him.
Nice.
You could stab it?
No, I wish you could, though. It'd make the game a lot better.
Yeah.
Now we're doing Bill is a Liar, episode 1.
Well, I'm thinking about, the Star Wars Force Unleashed 2, where there was that level you could buy for $1 where you just drop kick Ewoks. Like, I want that section of Lord of the Rings where you just drop kick hobbits around. That would be,
There was a level like that?
dude. That's possibly my favorite
Even I knew
level
about that.
this generation of games. And when I mean
that's-
drop kick, it's not like 5 feet. It's like a fucking football. They fly over the forest tops.
That's right up there with the cow level in Diablo.
Oh, it's amazing.
Wow.
Best DLC this generation, period. Yeah, there's even an achievement for doing it a certain number of times. And then you get to kill Princess Leia. Like, it's just complete nonsense. It's great. It's worth playing the game just to download that level. It
Sweet.
should really just have been its own game.
So I've played a few other games, but I want to hold off talking about them. Unless, well, Bill and I have a lot of overlapping.
Well, you might as well get that out of the way now, you too.
Okay. So, Skyrim. It's
Yes.
really good.
It's very good.
And it's a lot different than what I had expected it to be.
Yes.
The leveling is different. It seems they've taken some cues from Fallout 3, and now there's a perk system. You don't have to spend all your time figuring what stats to put your points in.
Yeah, the more you do something, the more that levels up. You just don't
Yeah.
think about it, which is pretty
Nope.
cool.
There was no class selection in the beginning, which threw me off. But it started out like every other Elder Scrolls game where you're a prisoner.
Yes, they love that storyline, don't they?
They do. I saw that. I'm like, oh, I'm in a cart. I look down. My hands are manacled. I'm like, called it.
Yep. I love, though, that it jumps into the action fairly quickly, though, and that is a little different than the other ones.
Yeah, it is. So that choice in the beginning, did you go with the Nords or did you go with the Imperials?
I went with the Nords.
Yeah, good. So the beginning of the game, you were all bound up and you're going to be executed because you're hanging out with these treasonous guys who are trying to overthrow the government. So everyone's going to get beheaded, and you're next in line. Just because you happen to be with them, they're going to execute you too. So then this dragon comes in and fucks everything up. And that's how the game starts.
Yes. I linked the dragon picture to you, Josh.
All right.
It's pretty neat. And the dragons aren't just kind of a little static semi-boss where you just walk up and just hack and hope you don't get killed in time. They're very dynamic. They get up, they fly around, they do like bomb runs with fire and wreck stuff. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, I actually killed my first non-plot related dragon, I guess.
Oh, really?
It's just one where I just kind of stumbled upon where I'm like, oh shit, there's a dragon.
Cool. Yeah, I just killed my first one a little while, probably before I took that nap.
Oh, so you're kind of... Oh, actually, no, I can't say you did in the beginning of the game because I have no idea what the hell you've been doing.
Yeah, I've stayed on the main story just a little bit to kill the dragon so I could get the shouts going. And shouts are kind of like dragon power that you siphon from their rotting corpse.
Yeah, apparently in this universe, dragons, their fire isn't magical fire. It's some sort of power that they get from shouting.
Mm-hmm.
So when dragons are fighting each other, they're just yelling at each other really loud.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, it is. So, I mean, you got to think of it this way. So there's a dragon in the apartment room downstairs, and you've been kind of loud. So the dragon knocks on your door, is like, dude, can you keep it quiet for a little bit? Except he kind of shouts it, and he burns down the entire apartment complex.
I like how...
You thought about that a little bit, didn't you there, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just thinking of all the
You were trying to put
scenarios.
dragons in real-life scenarios.
Just for Pop-Pop.
Like
Just for
a
Pop-Pop.
lifeguard at the pool, he yells at the kids to stop running, dead.
Yeah. It just sucks because that was the one with the lightning breath. Just fried everybody in the pool.
That would be
Oh,
great.
man.
Yeah, I like that the magic in this game is so dramatically improved from the others that
It's
like
actually
being a
useful.
Jedi. Yeah, it's wonderful. I just
It
love
looks a
frying
lot
things.
like the Bioshock stuff.
Yes. Even like with the
Heavily.
hand, it just sits there kind of glowing with fire or electricity.
Mhm.
Yeah, they love some Bioshock, I think.
Yeah. I was disappointed, though, when you can light an oil slick on fire, but you can't electrocute the water.
Yeah. Well, we can't have everything. It is a Bethesda
No.
game.
The fact that it's even playing, I'm shocked by,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Well, mine I couldn't get playing when I installed it. Every time I hit a button, it would crash. And so I had to go and do some forum searching, and I had to change my sound settings down to like CD quality 32K or something, and then it runs fine.
Nice, Bethesda.
Well, it works now. It's good enough.
That's weird. I don't have a PC to run it, so I'm on the Xbox.
How
And-
it looks okay though, right?
Yeah, it looks fine enough. I mean, no complaints.
The one little bit that I haven't really seen much on this game. I watched one little video where a guy showed how you steal in Skyrim. I don't know if either of you saw that video.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Okay. Okay, well, I did notice that the faces are still horrible. in
Yeah,
that game.
there's still the Bethesda face, but they've changed it so when you're there's no more conversation wheel. So when you're talking to someone, you're not up in their face and it looks really bad. You're kind of at a distance.
Oh, good, because those faces are just bad.
Yeah, they're atrocious. Their character models are always kind of weird looking.
Yeah. I like though that now the NPCs actually will have you'll shift in and out of having to choose things to say and then being able to move around and watch other people discuss things. The conversation's much more dynamic and interesting.
That was
now.
really nice, especially when you're in like the throne room area.
Yes. That's exactly where I was thinking of.
Because the guy's just like leaning over, he's talking to his advisor, and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, this, and this."
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, back to this other matter. I'm like, oh wow, that's.
I also
It
like that
doesn't-
the combat is really great now too. It's
Yeah,
doesn't just seem like you're just like
clicking a button.
a comedy cartoon where it just looks like he's hacking and then inevitably something dies. They parry and there's shields and you can dual wield things for more coolness.
Do
You
they
can
still have
dual
quick
wield-
travel?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
you have to explore the area first, but that's kind of standard.
Right.
I've yet
You
to
can
use
dual
that.
wield magic,
Yeah, so if
So
you
you can
fire
have-
2 fires, you get double firepower.
or you can do fire and ice.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun. I mean, I started playing it yesterday at 10 p.m. and it's what 7:30 right now, and I've put 12 hours into it.
Yeah, I saw your tweet. I was getting ready to go to bed then. You were like, I started playing Skyrim, and 6 hours later. Fuck.
I've only played 5 today. This is my first real stab at it. That's crazy, Kyle.
Yeah, I know. These games suck me in, and they suck me in hardcore.
One today we were kind of noticing. I was kind of talking with David, and Shia Hippo has the same opinion. Where, like, randomly, it will just throw so many quests at you, though, that it's almost too much. Like, you'll just overhear conversations, quests. It's about quests, and you can't abandon them. You'll just have tons of things to do.
You do have tons of things to do, but it's kind of nice how they have the quest log. So you have like miscellaneous quests, which are just a list of things that you can do, and then you have like your actual quests where there's a description, and that actually takes a spot up in the quest log. So if you look around, you'll see how they're organized. So yeah, they do. I think I've got 10 quests to do, just from things that I've overheard or looked at.
Yep, it is quite good. I like that the third-person camera, you can actually use that now. It doesn't just seem terrible.
It doesn't seem terrible. They've fixed the ice skating, which usually happened.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Ice
is
skating.
okay. If you play Morrowind or Oblivion or even Fallout 3, if you go into the third-person view, it looks like the person's ice skating. There's no impact on the environment.
Right.
Kind of like Blades of Steel.
Yeah,
Not really
exactly
an
like
exaggeration.
Blades of Steel.
Yeah, I'm thinking an NES game now.
Yeah.
It pops out, everything goes 8-bit for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I would actually play that game then.
Oh,
Yeah.
it'd be so bad.
It would be
Oh,
terrible.
that would be so good. They should do that.
Uh,
Then again, Bethesda can't make a game in this generation. Why are they going to do an 8-bit one?
I think they've done a pretty damn good job of making what they've done.
Yeah,
It's really good so far. I am so pleasantly surprised that it's.
I got to give them my, Billy type Apple hatred.
Oh,
so
that's fine.
That's just how I am. Unrational.
I'm not so irrational with Apple anymore. The deeper I get into that Steve Jobs book, most of my complaints are both admitted, confirmed, thought up by Steve Jobs, and he's a dick about it when he talks about him. I feel so vindicated for all of the shit talking I do about Apple because it's all part of his plan, and most of the people at Apple are like, come on, no. But
All
people
right.
would like expansion slots. No. Anyway, yeah, Skyrim, you'll never play it, so I'm not going to try and give you some sort of pitch, but
I mean, I played a bit of Oblivion.
Oblivion I never got that deep into. I mean, it was neat, but I didn't really,
you didn't invest as much time into it as you did with Morrowind.
yeah. This is going to be something I'm starting to see that I'm going to be playing this for a while.
Yeah.
A while. I'm excited to hear Jimmy, Chips, and Pete talk about it, because I'm trying to keep things vague for people that really haven't dug into it, but I have a feeling they're going to go just bonkers over it.
Mm-hmm.
Bonkers. Oh, Josh.
Maybe
So-
one day. Maybe
yeah.
one day.
Maybe we'll get some sort of a game challenge where you have to play this and I have to play, like, hockey or something.
I think you should play hockey anyway.
Well, I think you should play Skyrim anyways.
All right. Maybe someday. I mean, the last challenge we had, you couldn't even do, so.
Yeah, I don't remember the last challenge.
That was me playing KOTOR, which I got pretty far in, actually.
And you had to play Final Fantasy VI, if
That's
I'm not
right.
mistaken.
Which I bought online and played it for a while.
Oh, you played it for like 2 minutes.
I played it for like 3 hours.
No, you
The
didn't.
fuck I didn't. I made it out of the castle, out into the real world where there's that weird 8-bit traveling scenes. It was the random encounters that were killing me.
You can turn those off.
Well,
With
I
the
think
cheat.
it's coming to the PSN before too long, so maybe that'll be a revival of that.
I'll never go back
Yeah,
to
and
KOTOR
I think
at this point.
I think I also get some more hours of credit considering how much time I spent trying to get that bastard to play on the DS. Thank you very much.
Well, no, because there's numerous. What you could have played it on the computer with an emulator. You could have played it on the.
I wanted
Final
it to be
Fantasy
portable.
anthologies.
I was giving it my best idea, which would be portable. I would have given it the most time played, laying in bed or at work or something.
No, I'm done with that. Neither of you are good at challenges. That's
Nope.
all.
No, we're not.
Yeah, I won't deny that.
I'm the best. All right. So Skyrim. Kyle likes it. Billy likes it.
Josh
It's
hates
cool.
it, even though he's never played it.
It's. I hate it because the genre. That's all.
The high fantasy setting?
No, Western RPG.
Weren't you just fucking Demon Souls or Dark Souls for many hours?
That's kind of like a Western RPG, but at the same point, though, is it has really no story to it. So I don't have to deal with their bullshit.
The good thing about Skyrim is if you don't want to do the story, you don't have to do the story.
You can
just
literally
go.
skip it all.
Look,
Yeah.
Kyle, I am very irrational.
I've been wandering around and killing things and mining out mines just to build more armor, and that's really screwing me over because now I'm like level 13, and I'm a really good armorer, but I suck at everything else.
When they add Oblivion Gates to it, then maybe I will play it. If there's no Oblivion Gates.
Yeah, you don't want those. It's just a badass Viking game.
I don't like Vikings.
Really?
And I don't like games.
Well, we knew that.
All right. Are you guys done with Skyrim?
Yes,
All right. Are you done, Kyle?
I'm done.
All right.
Well, we talked about Skyrim. Lord of the Rings I played for half an hour. I guess that just leaves... Well, I'll save the one little one because I hope you talk quite a bit about that. But I'll go into Battlefield. This is all I've been playing for 2 weeks and before Skyrim came out.
That's acceptable.
I've been playing this quite a bit too.
You
Again,
played it like 4 times. That was it.
I saw some tweets about him playing it.
I saw a tweet where he sucked cock.
Tweets
So
count
what?
for like
Doesn't mean tweets
15
are-
minutes of playtime.
Yeah, didn't you know?
I need to tweet more.
Yeah, Joshy's the one that needs to be playing more Battlefield.
Yeah, I have not been putting much time into this game at all. But it's really good.
It is really good.
Yeah. I was so happily surprised when I got my hands on that after playing the beta. I just... Why did they release that terribleness? Why?
Yeah. That beta is...
It would have, if they would have put it in the Caspian map, I think everything would have been fine. It was just that map. I hate that Metro map. I hate it when I have to play it now. But man,
Why do you hate it? If you're a medic in that, you get so much freaking experience because you're just rezzing guys and healing them.
yeah, but I don't know. Like I'm playing on the PC, so when you double to triple the player count, it's just a bottleneck at the 2 basic entrances around B, where it's just a grenade and RPG hellfire. Like there's no fighting, the game just breaks, and they just sit there with about 12 guys on one side of the wall and 12 around the corner, and it's just grenades, RPG, grenade, RPG, and I just res people for points. Occasionally, David and I will throw smoke grenades into all of that, which makes everyone freak the fuck out. It's really, really funny.
It's like a bunch of scattering
Oh,
ants.
people get so pissed off, but I mean, the game's broken on that map. There's another map that the same thing happens, but a lot of the open world stuff is just the big open maps. It's just, I'm so in love with it. So much fun.
The core of the game is really cool. There's so much to love about it. Like, I like the way the guns handle. I like the way, like I can go prone now because I always play as recon. I'm always sniping. That's what I do. And I can finally go prone, and it has so many cool things to it. But why the fuck can't we join our own squads?
Furious about that.
No, Kyle, you have to leave a squad, join a squad, leave a squad, join a squad until you're all in the same one.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible.
Okay, and then Origin is a complete joke.
Ugh, people have seen me bitch enough about that, but it's terrible.
You luckily do not have to deal with this, Kyle, because you're playing on a console, which I have the PS3 version here as well, from Gamefly. So
I love that you have 2 copies and haven't played fucking any of one.
That's Josh. It's good that he doesn't have 3 copies.
I'm gonna buy you 3 copies of Skyrim.
Yeah, no, I'm good. But Origin, Kyle, is kind of like EA's version of Steam.
Yeah, well, I know that much, and from the internet, apparently it sucks really, really bad, but I don't know why.
Yeah, so here's what you have to do, okay? You load up Origin, and you tell it, hey, I want to play this game.
Origin itself at that part is okay.
Right.
It's not that different from Steam's little window, okay?
But then it loads up a website where it shows you your friends list in Origin and everything else. So like Bill, David, and Kaz from the Rumble Pack, and we can all join up and go into a game together. That's awesome, right? That's really simple and easy.
Yeah.
It never really quite works out like that.
Ever.
It's kind of like, David and I will get into the game and Bill and Kaz don't. And then Kaz hits the button that says join game with party. And it closes my game and then reloads it because we're now loading in again as a group.
Or it'll say, you cannot join this game as you are in this game.
Right.
Yet he's not.
Right.
Huh.
Because the game doesn't have like a menu hub where you would pick single, co-op, or online. All of that is on the website. I mean, even when it's just like David and I, 2 people, I would say on average it's about a 7 to 10 minute window before we actually can get into a game together. And then we're still not on the same squad. Like once we're in the game, we never get kicked. It's usually pretty solid, and we can play all night. But it's 7 to 10 minutes to really get the fucking thing going. It's garbage. Like, there's no excuse that it doesn't work after 2 weeks. None.
Wow. I'm glad I played this on the PS3 where it's like, I'm going to just pop in a game that Pete's playing.
Yeah,
Playing with
but
Pete.
even then, you're not in the same squad. It really takes...
That takes like 10 seconds, okay? Leaving the squad. Is Pete's squad
that's a
open?
joke.
Really?
No, it takes more than that, dude. I did it on the PS3 as well.
Usually we just quit trying and just deal with not being on the same squad.
Yeah. It's a complete mess. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to just join our own squads.
And you're right. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to do that.
But I love the gameplay, though. Everything, when you're actually playing the game, is amazing. Except for, it was the night that I actually got power back, because, we lost power for 6 days. I actually got power back in my internet connection, and I joined a game that James and Pete were playing on the PS3. And all I hear on Skype is James yelling on the top of his lungs. It was probably the greatest moment I've ever had on Skype. You know how, I think it's the Recon class, they get that one little thing that they can fly around?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called or anything like that.
The UAV.
Okay. They have a UAV, and they're flying it around, and they kept dropping it on James's head and killing it over. It must have happened 20 times in a span of 10 minutes.
I assume this isn't the purpose of the UAV?
I don't think so.
No,
but
it's so you can look around corners and stuff and spot people, but you can also kill them with it.
You're right. He all I hear is, that motherfucker just got me again. But in his awesome accent that makes him sound
slag.
Right. Fucking cunt. But
Dumbledore doesn't play Battlefield.
it was amazing, dude. But I've been trying. I was like, I got to get the UAV. I have to get the UAV, and then I have to be on the opposing team and get James as much as I can.
Oh man,
And that's the great thing is you can just switch sides now.
Well, I still don't have the UAV. I have to get it. It's probably like a gadget that you have to earn.
Yeah, it is.
There's a quick way of actually doing that though, Josh. It's called playing the fucking game. Instead of
I
just
will.
talking about it and not playing the game.
I've been busy, all right? I have things I had
With
to
what?
Like
No.
play Sonic.
I've
Yeah.
been training my cats. Stuff.
There's a
hate you.
cat circus now, don't you know?
do. On Bubbles.
I do find your little kitty tweets quite precious.
Oh, yeah. But, so I have to get the UAV, but also, why isn't there a tracer gun in this game?
It's so you can't shoot me with a tracer round, and I desperately try to figure out why I'm glowing and why everybody is killing me.
No, they need a tracer gun in this game. Even just make it like the Kyle DLC pack and put it out so that way I can get it and shoot Kyle and then like send the game back to GameFly.
That's all it does. It's DLC that specifically shoots my guy and my guy only.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder if
But yeah.
the extra map pack comes out next month, and I wonder if they're gonna, throw some of that stuff, because I know there's more weapons and vehicles alongside the maps, so maybe.
Bill, one question for you though.
Mhm.
What was your experience in a helicopter with me?
Amusing, quick, and I'll go with. Gosh, I know there was a third one. I forget the third one.
Painful?
EPA. Oh, sorry, topical humor. About as well as whenever I try and fly the fucking thing. Not very well.
All right, Bill, we're taking off. Oh my God, we're heading towards the water.
Well, that was the bonus of the first week. Every time you got into any kind of aerial vehicle with anyone, it was like, yeah, we're just we're down.
Yeah, where I see Pete and James flying jets now with no problem. I mean, granted, it's easy with the controller.
I think if you play the single-player campaign, they go over how to fly all that stuff.
Yeah, there is a tutorial, I believe, on that, which anybody who plays a single-player campaign, you're dumb.
No, I'm not. If you just play it, it's not that bad.
Nope.
Why
would you ever buy a Battlefield game for the single-player campaign?
Well, I didn't. I mean, clearly, I've only played it a couple hours, but it was just a little distraction. People get all uppity like it's supposed to be like a Modern Warfare campaign, and it's just
I don't
an added
care.
thing on my multiplayer game as far as I'm concerned.
I don't care anything about the story or how it plays. It's just, why would you buy a Battlefield game for the single-player story?
Yeah, that's a fair question, yeah.
You buy those games for the multiplayer. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like to. Have you played? Either of you played any of the co-op missions?
No, I have not.
I haven't.
The second co-op mission is two guys. One of you has to fire the weapons, and the other one has to fly the helicopter. And you actually get pretty proficient at the chopper if you just play that level about 20 times.
Maybe I'll have to do that so I can take you for a ride.
Yeah, it's because that chopper is very difficult, but once you figure out, at least at its core, how to use it, it gets easier. But watching some of those dudes play online, because on the PC, I guess you can have dual inputs, so I can be playing mouse and keyboard the whole time. But then when I get into a jet, I can just grab my Xbox controller and fly that way.
I thought about doing that actually because I have a controller sitting here on my desk,
Yeah.
so it's like it's just sitting there glowing. I can just grab it anytime.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm guessing
set up a
that's it.
joystick?
You can do that as well.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Kyle just got a bit more excited for the PC version. Kyle loves
Yeah,
joysticks.
Except I'll never have a PC to run it in the recent future, in the near future.
Well, it's good on the PC. It really is.
You have a lot more players, and the maps are a little bit bigger, but ultimately, it's really not that different. I mean, it looks.
Well,
a little
I
better.
will say the PS3 version. I can't speak for the 360 one, but there is so much aliasing. It does not look. I mean, as expected, but it's not nearly as crisp and good looking as the PC version.
Wow. Yeah, like you said, it's to be expected. This is the next 2 years, man. It's only going to get further and further.
But I will say a game that I'm going to play later on is probably easily the best console game I've ever seen. Like it looks amazing. So,
Which is
Uncharted 3.
oh, it's very
Really? Because it says Uncharted 3 in the Google Doc.
That's because you edited it, you piece of
Yeah,
shit.
didn't you play like Dick Smokers or something too?
Yeah, dude, fuck you for that, by the way. I'm sitting here because I bolded out the games that I wanted to talk about, and underneath Uncharted 3, there was another one that was added, and I thought, like, Bill renamed one of the games that I had, to dick suckers, blah blah blah, and put completed next to it.
Cocksmokers 3.
Yeah, and I was like, what game was that he renamed? I spent like 3 days trying to remember what game that was that you remember that you changed.
And then I'm just
I was like,
oh, why did you just check the revision history?
yeah, and come to find out you added it in there. You didn't rename one of my games, but yeah, fuck you.
That makes the not funny joke at all really funny.
Dude, that was...
God, what rhymes with cocks? Smocks.
I was on
locks.
Skype last night with Mike and Pete, and I was looking at the doc, and I was like, wait a minute. There's another game here that I played that I don't remember the name of it, and Bill fucking changed the name of it.
Oh, wonderful. Well, before you get into Uncharted, let's just dip real quickly at Sonic Generations. How is this game possibly good? It's so
I don't know.
It's so cool.
It is so cool.
It actually is good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I've yet to hear one bad thing about this game. Kyle.
It feels fresh, refreshing, like everything you've ever wanted like a Sonic game to be since you were a kid. It's that.
Right, and let me put it out like this, Kyle. Okay, Sonic Generations, it has like the little cheesy, shitty story with Sonic and his friends, kind of. But what happens is like there's like a time rift or something where a bad guy comes in and fucks up the time gap, and you have like Sonic from Sonic Adventures on the Dreamcast, and then like the 16-bit Sonic.
Okay.
In the same world, and it has a layout of all the areas that you can go to, like Green Hill Zone and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And if you hit Y, it switches between what Sonic you are. You can be the Sonic from the Dreamcast or Sonic the old school style, the Sidescroller. And each level plays differently based on which one you pick.
Huh.
So like if you pick the Dreamcast Sonic, it plays like Sonic Adventures. Like you are sliding down the rails in like the first person perspective and all this other crazy shit. And then if you play with the 16-bit one, it plays like you're playing the Genesis version, like it's side-scrolling.
And when you play the levels that switch between the different perspectives, it's mind-bending stuff. It's so cool.
And on top of that, like you have Green Hill Zone and the chemical plant and all these other areas that you know if you've played Sonic games, but it also has like little challenges in between where you can open up more of the world. Like you go through Green Hill Zone trying to carry one ring from the beginning to the end. So basically you're Frito.
One ring to rule them all.
You like that? I just brought that whole thing back.
I love that Frodo has a Spanish cousin. I bet he makes really good food.
No, he's too lazy.
There's tons.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Wow. There's tons of things to do in this game, man. There's literally nothing bad I can say about this game. They remixed all the music and everything too. So like Green Hill Zone has new music, Chemical Plant has new music, and it sounds like the old school stuff, but it has this cool twist to it. But then like when you're playing as Sonic, Dreamcast Sonic basically, and you hit the warp button where he runs faster, like the music kind of muffles out a little bit because you're going so fast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then also if you're underwater, the music sounds like, it's muffled up because you're underwater. So there's all these cool little things that they do as well.
So Nancy she was a devout Sonic fan. Like, she knows all the classic Sonics
She will
by
love
heart.
this.
And I have never seen anyone play a Sonic game better than her. So would she play this? Would she like it?
She will
Nancy would adore
adore
this
game.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper. I mean, that's the other huge bonus of it.
Well, is it cheaper on consoles? I think it's $60 on consoles.
What?
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, that's some poppycock, if I can take a word from Dodd.
Let me,
I'm checking Amazon right now.
Yeah, it was $30 on Steam, right?
Yeah, it's like $30 on Steam. No, it's 47 for console.
It's 50. It's 50 new.
Those whores.
So yeah, and actually it runs better on PC as expected. But
And it has native Xbox controller support on the PC, just built right in. Just like Skyrim, it detects it, switches all the UI and buttons. You don't even have to think about it.
So looking, and if your system can handle it, Kyle, it's not a very demanding game. But if your system can handle it, definitely go PC route.
Yeah, because you can run 60 frames a second on the PC, and it's mind-bending.
Yeah, I guess on console, I was talking to Pete about it, and he's like, the frame rate fluctuates a bit. You know, it's not very consistent throughout it. And I have to say thank you, though, because I was actually gifted this game by David. I was quite surprised by that.
Yeah, it's a hell of a game.
I love it, man. Like as I said on Twitter, it feels so dirty to actually say that I like a Sonic game.
Yeah.
So does this Sonic game make up for the last 10 years of Sega Sonic games?
It kind of does. I mean, there's so much to do because you have each area, but you can play them twice, you know, with Dreamcast Sonic or Retro Sonic, basically, and they're completely different levels.
Mm-hmm. And the way it switches between 2D and 3D and the stuff that it's doing, like it almost should have came with a little cheesy video from the developer that just is like, we're sorry for like the last decade, here you go. And then it actually delivers. It's great. Yeah.
But at the same point, though, I'm sorry for everybody who bought into the Sonic 4 episode thing because they basically just shit in your face.
Yeah.
You went out and bought this episodic Sonic where you got only one, and then it sucked. And then they throw Sonic Generations out there, and it's amazing. So
maybe that's why they had to make that one suck, because they're like, we've got the actual dev team working on this game, so we can't let that overshadow what we're working on right now.
Right. Well, whatever they did, they need to do it again, and they need to like consistently do this because like that totally made me re-fall in love with Sonic.
Don't fuck with it. Just make more levels.
Right. And it has online things as well, like time trials where you can go through a zone, and you know it puts your time up on a leaderboard and everything else. So I mean,
if Nancy gets this game, I think this will ruin her life.
Yeah, I think it's a good Christmas gift, man. She'll thoroughly enjoy it. It's quite good. Do it.
Definitely.
Do it.
It's really, really good.
I say that you buy a big gaming rig under the guise of Nancy Sonic, but really it's for Battlefield and Skyrim.
No, but yeah, if your system can handle it, PC is definitely the way to go. And I know you two have the same laptop.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah, I wish there was a demo. That way you could at least find out, you know?
There's a demo for the PC, I believe.
Is there? Check it out then,
I believe there is.
Check it out. See if it'll run.
Okay, I will.
But even so, like if there isn't a demo for the PC, download the demo on the 360 or PS3 just so you can get a feel for the game because it's so fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about it. It's so dirty saying I like Sonic.
Yeah.
It's like kind of when Capcom came back and released Mega Man 9, and it kind of like it made me fall back in love with the classic series because Mega Man like 6 and up fucking sucked. And then finally they come out with Mega Man 9 and it's just amazing. So, yeah, it's a good revival.
I think the difference between this and that is that this is good.
Fuck you. Why don't you go play some Skyrim, you pixie faggot?
I plan on it.
Yeah.
All right, good.
It's marathon. It's marathon
If
time
I didn't
tonight.
have another freaking, if I didn't have something to go to tonight, that's what I would be doing is sitting home playing Skyrim.
Ooh, can we take
All
a
right.
break and talk about what Kyle's doing tonight? I bet it involves Nancy.
No, actually, it doesn't.
Oh, that was a turn of events.
Nancy has to work.
Other than that, I played and completed a bunch of games actually.
Can we
This is,
start with
pretty good
dick
for me.
smokers?
I thought it was cock smokers.
Something like that. I lose
It's
track
not-
of Josh's stupid games he plays.
As you might see, it's actually not, and I'm actually pointing to my monitor right now so you can actually see that. That is not on my list. So,
Well,
I don't know what you're
can we
talking
be really quick and talk about Pixeljunk Sidescroller? I have
I
not
actually-
heard one person talk about it.
Fuck you, Kyle.
Somehow the outline's been edited.
I wasn't actually planning on talking about that this
I know,
time.
just be real quick. Is it good or not?
It's really good.
All right. Now, is this you speaking from 1984, or is this like a modern that's good?
It's modern good because they took the shoot 'em up genre and kind of put their own twist on it in a way. Because it uses the same enemies from Pixeljunk Shooter. So like you have those guys that spit lava and everything else. And you're going through the level like with you have 3 weapons. One's kind of a bomb where it shoots like 4 bombs out in random directions. One is a laser, and the other is a machine gun type weapon. And as you progress, you can upgrade them as well by picking up items. And so, like, the laser now shoots in front of you, behind you, and then upward, and then down as well.
That's cool.
And the machine gun is obviously, it just gets all fucking crazy and shoots in every direction.
Huh.
Yeah, it's really cool.
How much was it?
It has, I think, like $10. Or maybe cheaper if it was PlayStation Plus.
Right on.
Yeah, it's got cool boss fights. The really cool thing that it does, though, is it puts, like, this old-timey filter on your screen. And so, like, it has the rounded edges, like you're playing it on an arcade machine or a CRT monitor. And then it's got, like, this green filter on it as well. like you're playing it on a CRT monitor.
Interesting. So my joke about it seeming like a game that's 20 years old was actually kind of correct. That's cool.
Right, but it plays modern. So it's really cool. I was playing a bunch of it last night. I can't say enough good about it, actually. And I am also surprised that I haven't heard anybody talk about it.
I just was curious because not one person have I heard one tweet, post, anything about it. So I was just curious.
It's probably been just kind of kept under wraps because of everything else that's out.
Yeah. Why do they release shit like this in the fall? All of these downloadable games
Christmas.
should be banned from fall release.
Well, I mean, like, the one that I was going to talk about before you brought up Cocksmokers 3, completed in the mouth again, pop approved.
It's the mouth Gina, Josh.
Oh, my bad. Infamous Festival of Blood, that came out right before Halloween. And everybody knows I'm a big Infamous fan.
Well, that makes a little bit more sense, though. Like, what's last year's trick-or-treating game? I mean, that makes, that's time appropriate.
Oh, was Costume Quest?
Yeah, but, Pixeljunk Sidescroller, that's perfect for Christmas vacation or January.
Or, like, the days off you have for Thanksgiving.
I guess.
Which would be right about now, so. But it is a bad time to release it. I mean, Battlefield 3, Uncharted 3, there's all these amazing games out, so why would you want to spend time with a downloadable game? But what I kind of use it as is like, all right, I'm getting ready to kind of simmer down for the night. I don't really feel like playing a big boy title, so I'm going to load up Pixeljunk Sidescroller and just shoot some shit. So it's kind of like a cool game to relax with.
See, I guess that I figured at those times you used your iPad.
I do when I'm laying in bed. But yeah, so Infamous Festival of Blood is it's a standalone title. Like, I remember when it was first coming out, everybody was confused. Is it DLC for Infamous 2, or is this going to be a standalone game? And it is standalone, so you don't need Infamous 2 to play it.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's basically just their little Halloween story. There's vampires, and Bloody Mary is in there. But
I'm guessing they're real vampires, not like those pixie ones we referenced earlier.
They are real vampires.
Cool.
And basically, it takes place in the same place that Infamous 2 does, which is basically New Orleans. And they have a big festival around Halloween. And, the city, when that festival is going on, just looks amazing. There's fireworks going everywhere. There's, like, these little statues in the middle of the street where people, like, are drinking and doing all these crazy things around that are on fire. And there's just so much on the screen and all this activity. It's just actually really impressive that they were able to pull it off. The story itself is, take or leave it. It's basically a little Halloween story. But you get some new powers with it as well because, Cole becomes a vampire.
What?
And it actually, it doesn't actually happen in a way. So, like, this is, like, the story takes place with Zeke is in a bar and this chick comes in and Zeke's trying to, like, pick her up. And so he's like, well, my buddy Cole McGrath, blah, blah, blah. And she doesn't believe him that he knows Cole McGrath. And so he's like, well, no, I just helped him, take out all these vampires and blah, blah, blah. and then it picks up with you as Cole. So you're playing through Zeke's story that he's telling this girl.
Okay.
So that's a pretty cool way to introduce, the vampires and these powers into Infamous.
Is there any Brad Pitt references? Vampires, New Orleans, anything like that?
No, and no Tom Cruise either.
That's a shame.
No.
Actually, would probably
Antonio
download it.
Banderas.
No interviews with a vampire, unfortunately. But there are, little audio things that you can pick up from the lead vampire where you learn her past and everything that happened, causing her to be the way she is, basically. So there's a little bit of that Infamous and Assassin's Creed type collecting stuff.
How much was this?
$10.
What? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's huge too. Like it's the whole first island of Infamous 2.
Okay, I was wondering how they were going to do that festival when everything was underwater.
Yeah, it's the other islands you can't get to. So it's just the first island. And everything that happened in Infamous 2, there's one section where in Infamous 2 you blow up a building. That building is still blown up in this. So the world is still changed from everything you did there. The new powers are cool. You get one where you can turn into a flock of bats and fly away. You can fly all the way across the island, basically. So it's kind of like quick travel.
Do you sing the Batman theme to yourself quietly in your room when you do this?
No, because Batman is a faggot.
Can you turn into a mist or a wolf?
No.
Eh.
You are kind of a mist, but there's bats around you when you do it.
Are they dirty bats?
They are dirty bats. There's one power where you get to see it's almost like an X-ray vision. It's kind of like vampire vision, where you see people's hearts beating and you see their rib cages and everything.
Oh, like The Witcher?
Yeah, kind of like The Witcher. And you end up there's newborn vampires walking around amongst actual people, and you can use that as a way to pick them out to kill them.
But you're slaughtering your own kind? Why wouldn't you be decimating the human population?
Well, what happens is you get turned by Bloody Mary, and then by sunrise...
Wait. By who?
Bloody Mary.
Uh-huh. Like you were in a bathroom and you said it a few times in the mirror? Bloody Mary?
This is Zeke's story trying to pick up a chick.
Okay.
Remember? So Zeke is awesome, and nobody wants to make fun of him.
Does him and Cole have big dicks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did they tag team some girl?
No, actually... I can't... Damn it, that's a spoiler.
Cole, I can feel you shocking her through your...
Oh, God.
But you get turned by Bloody Mary, and if you don't, you have to basically kill all the vampires in her by sunrise, or you will be her slave. Basically, is how it works. So you have the whole nighttime to do all your missions and everything. And kind of like in Infamous 2, it says when the beast is getting closer to the city,
Numerae.
Numerae. It tells you how far the beast is. And this one, it tells you how much time until sunrise you have. So
does that time actually matter, or is it story tied to the story, or can you just screw around enough and then? Okay.
Yeah, it's completely story driven.
Right on.
But the world changes too. It becomes daytime further on as you progress and everything else.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
So I'm most of the way through Infamous 2. Can I pick up this game and start playing it without worrying about spoilers?
I believe so, yeah. There's really no spoilers for Infamous 2 on that. I mean, at most you might see some powers that you haven't gotten yet.
Nah, I've gotten all the powers.
Okay, then yeah, you should be fine. There's no references to the Beast or anything in this.
So it's just a night of drunken debauchery where everybody kind of forgets that the Beast is coming.
Well, the Beast is gone at this point.
Oh.
This is completely separate, basically.
Okay.
This kind of takes place, I would say, in between the whole, you're now at Numerae, and then the Beast is on his way, type thing. But it's a completely off-the-cuff story because it's what Zeke is making up to pick up this girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he thinner in the story?
No.
So that would have been a nice little touch.
He's 6 feet tall and ripped.
Yeah.
He's still got the big, chin going into his chest type thing.
See, that would have been great if they would have written that kind of stuff in where Cole kind of just kisses his ass the entire game. That would have been pretty good. Where would I be without you, Zeke? I mean, where would I be without you, Zeke?
No, they
for
changed his
$10.
voice. Now he kind of sounds like he has water in his mouth or something. He has some sort of lisp.
What?
He does. He has a
No,
lisp.
No, he doesn't.
Where would I be without you, Zeke?
Yeah. Anyways, for $10 a standalone game, it's actually really cool.
Is this going to make your downloadable list, I'm assuming, then?
Oh yeah, probably.
Cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I think you just answered why no one's talking about Pixeljunk, quite frankly.
Dude, nobody else has really played this. Like James, Pete, and Mike, I've only spent like 5 minutes with it. So yeah. Other than that, though, real quick, I completed Dark Souls.
Was it worth it?
Definitely worth it. Yeah.
That's a
I
crowning
love it.
achievement. I'm really glad that you made it. Can we talk about the reason why you finished it? Because I find it to be just exceptionally wonderful.
Well, I would have finished it anyway.
Yes, but let's talk about why you finished it so quickly.
Well, I was actually almost to the end when I started doing it.
Stop qualifying why you finished it and just tell us about it.
There's a glitch within the game where if you join the Dragon Covenant, you get a dragon helm that shoots out fire if you use it. And there's a glitch with it where you can basically give yourself unlimited souls. And as I said the last episode, souls are your currency. You buy items with it. You level up with it and everything. So if you have unlimited souls, basically you can do anything you want.
So out of the 750 levels that you can level up to, which by all means should probably take you roughly 2 years, what level are you now?
650.
Holy Christ.
Well, you have to tape the square button down and then just leave your PlayStation run for like a day, and then you get maybe to 300 a day's worth of souls.
It depends on what you use, because there are items like a large soul of a lost hero and blah blah, and in each one of those types gives you more souls or less. So I think at the end I was using one that gave me like 10,000 souls per. And so you're figuring 10,000 souls per times, half a second equals a lot of fucking souls.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do is I set it up to happen, and then I put a quick grip on my PlayStation 3 controller to hold down the square button, and then I would go to bed. And so I would wake up in the morning to 600 million souls, basically.
And that got you what? Because when you're getting close to your level, it's like what, 3 or 4 million per level?
Yeah,
at
it's
that
costing
point?
me. I think now it's costing me like 10 million per level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of my stats are maxed out. I think the only one I have to max out now is like resistance, and then my character is 100% maxed out. So like vitality, strength, dexterity, endurance, and everything are all at 99.
Like I am thinking, as long as I never update this game, I could go back, still rock that cheat out. And, I'll never get to play online, and I'll miss that whole aspect of it, but none of you would be playing, so it doesn't matter. But I am considering that, like, down the road, I could pick it back up just to make it to this point so that I could actually finish the game.
Here's the thing. Just because I'm that level doesn't make it easier.
Well,
Like, you still take a shitload of damage. Like, you can still get one-shotted.
Yeah, but it also makes
What?
the game a little bit more fun.
How can you still get one-shotted?
Because the game was made by cunts, Kyle.
There's some things that later on do a lot more damage. Like, there's one boss where basically, like, he hit me and it took off half my health. But you do more damage. Like, so there's items that scale with your level, and then there's some that don't. Like, the Drake Sword that you get early on does not scale with your level. Whereas, like, the one that I was using at the end completely scales with me, so I was doing like 750 damage per hit. So yeah, that's basically me finishing Dark Souls. I didn't really want to bring that up, but thanks, Bill.
Well,
You cheating bastard.
Well, here's the
I
thing, though.
would've
The
beat it
game does
anyways.
its best to break you and find all these ways to I know you're going to say it doesn't screw you over, but it screws you over a lot. And so when you find
I
something
didn't get
like
screwed
this, when you find something like this, I think it's only fair game. It fits the game.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with that at all. But like when Kyle's like, he just said like I cheated to beat it. No, I didn't. I was at the end anyways.
Yeah. You just made it cooler because now it opens up a lot more things that you probably wouldn't have seen. Just like it would for me and just like it is for you. Like Now when you go through the game plus, maybe you'll get to areas you may not have ever went to.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've already started New Game Plus. I'm already, I would say, about halfway through the game. Because I think I'm like 120 hours into this game at this point. So, yeah, that's Dark Souls. Fuck you, Kyle. Other than that, I beat Uncharted 3. This is going to be a real quick one. I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it because it's easy to spoil.
I saw the end.
Okay, so...
My roommate was playing it, and I'm like, oh, that was the end? He's like, yep. All right. That was fun.
You need to play Uncharted, Kyle. You need to play 1, 2, and 3. Like, you are doing yourself a massive disservice by not playing Uncharted.
I haven't played it either, Kyle, so don't feel too bad.
No, but you've played the others.
Carl, you never played the others?
No, he's never played an Uncharted game.
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
wow. Interesting.
I've only played the Uncharted 3 beta.
Very interesting.
Multiplayer beta.
You owe yourself to play Uncharted 3. It is easily... Well, you have to play the other ones first. But anyways, these games are easily like the most technological, impressive games for the PlayStation 3. For what they do. There's amazing lighting effects. In this one, like in Uncharted 2, there was a lot of snow levels, so you're going through the snow and like it's just crazy shit that they do where like Drake's pants get wet as he's in water, or how the snow breaks apart when he's standing on it. And this one, there's a lot of sections in the desert, so like you see when you take a step in the sand, like little pellets of dirt roll around when you're moving on it. It's just crazy things like that. Like, and on top of that, the stories are really good. There's a lot of action to them. You're basically playing a mass murderer, as Bill would say.
Well, he's kind of a serial killer.
Right, but I don't look... You know that I don't look at it like that.
I know. Well, I don't really either, but it's for some reason bothers people, so it's funny.
It doesn't bother me. But, yeah, Kyle, you really owe yourself to play Uncharted 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I'm just not playing it because I'm really enjoying other games right now, and I want to give it its due time as well as money, so I'll hit it later
but you
on.
know that you're going to like it.
Oh, yeah. It has nothing to do with like or dislike. I just know that I'm really enjoying Battlefield and now Skyrim, and it's going to be a while.
Can't believe Carl hasn't played these games. But, I mean, basically all I have to say is Naughty Dog did it again. I mean, it is one of, I would say easily my favorite game in this generation. Because it's done some crazy stuff. Like, everything that I had to complain about in Uncharted 2, they fixed in this one, obviously, and then pushed it so much further. And it didn't have, like, a lot of people complained about Uncharted 2's boss, the end boss, and this one didn't really have that, and I liked the way it ended. I liked the way that you got to know the characters. They went back further into Drake's life. They showed him as a kid when he first met Sully. They had this one section where you actually get kidnapped by the bad people in the game, and they sit down and talk to you about your relationship with Sully and basically kind of make you think that something's going to happen to you or to him or in general. They kind of fuck with your mind a little bit, and then it has like this whole section where you're in a chase. You're chasing one of these guys through the entire city, and there's just all this action and story, and yeah, it's just amazing, dude. Like, I can't say... This is basically the greatest game I've ever played.
Wait a minute.
This is the greatest game I've ever played.
Josh.
Dude, what?
Really?
Yes. No. It's a really good game. It's really impressive.
Is this the best game this generation for you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll go with that.
Easily.
Because we all know A Link to the Past is the greatest game ever made.
No, Final Fantasy VI is the greatest game ever.
I hope you die in a fire.
Followed by Mega Man 3. And then Street Fighter. And then Warcraft. And then Diablo.
And welcome to Josh's a Liar episode 7. We're flying through the numbers this week, folks.
So yeah, Uncharted, dude. It's really great. It's tough to talk about without giving out spoilers.
Yeah, I know. I see you stepping around it, but let's talk about some of the things people know about. Do you agree with the whole cone and the shooting is kind of, there's a lag to it, not to mention multiplayer. It's easier to just spray bullets everywhere and punch. Have they addressed some of those things, or do you not see that?
I don't see it. And I think I've been reading a lot about that, where you were talking about like the lag on the shooting and moving the camera and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
That I did not notice at all, and I even tried to recreate it on mine. And so like when I hit the controller, it turned. So I don't know if it's something like where he's using an older system, maybe like a PlayStation Fat, and there's something different. But I didn't have that. I haven't had any shooting problems at all in this game. I played a lot of the multiplayer, and I'm actually doing quite well. And I'm not just spraying. I'm actually like targeting and shooting. So I don't know why a lot of people are having problems. But if there is an actual problem, then that means like everybody else will get good, and then I'm probably going to be bad because I seem to be doing well with this. And even the multiplayer, though, you know how they have the perk system in there and everything else. They added a lot of cool things too, where and it goes a little bit out of this world where you can turn, like, there's a curse jar that you can put down in the multiplayer, and if people go through it, they get cursed and like turn into skeletons, and like they end up attacking themselves and their other teammates and stuff like that. Or you can turn into like a sea of spiders and attack people.
What?
With a curse and everything else. Yeah. So basically, like, I was sitting there running up a bridge, and next thing I know, there's a fucking shitload of spiders running after me. I was like, oh fuck! And I took off and climbed up a building. And you don't see that very often. You see that basically like once every 15 games. So it's something that you have to work to get.
Hordes of spiders?
Yeah. It's really good, dude. The multiplayer, I love the Uncharted multiplayer. I know that you didn't really care for it because the weapons didn't feel right and people were bullet sponges. But
I never really played much of the multiplayer. I played the beta one for the second one, but I just never. I played through the campaign the first week and sold it that Saturday, just because there was other things I wanted to play. I mean, who the fuck knew that all of you would embrace it so much?
I think we all love it because it's not.
It's goofy.
Yeah, it's goofy.
You just said a horde of spiders are running at you, so you crawled up the side of a building.
And then
it's
on
fun.
top of that, you have all the crazy acrobatic shit that you can do. Like, I can dive off a building onto somebody and then snap their neck. And you don't see that in a lot of games.
Or any.
Yeah, well, I mean, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood maybe with the multiplayer.
Oh, yeah, good call.
But even then, Uncharted did that first. So, I think that's why I like it. Is it's completely different. It's not Battlefield. It's not Call of Duty. It's not Unreal Tournament. It's just its own thing. And I have to give them credit for that because I remember when they first announced Uncharted having multiplayer, I kind of dreaded it. But they actually turned me around, and I love it. So, yeah. But that's all I'm going to say about the game because I really don't want to spoil it for a lot of people. Just that.
Well, can I ask one more question that's minor, spoilery, sort of? But if you've played the first... Well, I can't because Kyle hasn't. Never mind.
I don't think Kyle will ever play them, dude.
Well, I was just going to say, you and I
work
should
my
just
way up to
split the
playing
cost and we'll just gift the second one to him.
Nah, my roommate has them. I'll bump them off of him. God
damn it, Carl. Your roommate has them?
Yep.
You need... When we're done with the Skyrim hoorah in like March, then you should play them.
Yeah. That's probably a pretty good time frame.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, then I'll try and be cryptic about how I asked this to you then, Josh. You know how in the first two games there was a certain twist in the story where some people liked it and some people didn't?
Mm-hmm.
You catch my meaning?
Yes.
Does that pattern hold true in the third?
No.
Ooh, excellent. I'm a little bit more excited. Can't wait for March.
Yeah. There was one point where I thought it did, and it's kind of like them saying, we gotcha.
Cool.
But it actually doesn't.
No, because I asked because you just said you can turn into a horde of spiders, but it's just multiplayer stuff. That's neat.
Well, I think that whole horde of spider things is like, it's a curse. It's, like an Indiana Jones type thing. Basically.
God, I would love to read a tweet from Kyle. Just got cursed. A bunch of fucking spiders again. Fuck my life.
So, yeah, Uncharted 3, though, it's absolutely amazing. Like, the technical things. There's one point where you have to squeeze yourself between a bunch of rocks and you're holding a torch as well. And seeing the light on the rocks from the torch and then on your face, it's so impressive. Everything that they've done. Like, Naughty Dog basically needs to just make an engine and then give it to everybody. For everything that they've done, But that's not going to happen. Everybody's going to keep using Unreal Engine 3, and everybody's going to look wet.
Well, ultimately, I think one of the reasons they work so well is because they shoot and record sounds and things, with the real actors, all of the mocap and the recording, it's all of one unit, where other people, everything is separate and done at different times by different people.
Yeah,
It's
and
that
they
level of quality.
They spend time on their games. It's not yearly revisions or, you have time in between. And it's a company that, as Pete and I were talking about, they work on one game. They don't work on like 6 games at a time.
Yeah.
So it's really just, they love the game and they just work on that. And when it's done, they start another one. So yeah. Kyle, why don't you tell them how they can get in contact with us if they so choose?
All right, there are the standard ways. I've mentioned them time and time again. Twitter.
You're going to do it again, bitch.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Well, that was definitely out of nowhere.
You can follow Josh with @Nasso. You can follow myself @KR Dumond. You can follow Bill @BillyBillBlack. And you can follow the podcast @Critical Strike.
And Bill, why don't you tell them about our affiliations?
We are a part of Platform Nation, full of other wonderful podcasts. Like the upcoming 4-year FYI, where you're going to learn a lot about Skyrim.
But what about the voicemail and the email?
What?
Oh, yeah. Bill, why don't you tell them... Kyle, why don't you tell them about the voicemail and email?
Well, email is criticalstrikepodcast@gmail.com. Or
No, it isn't.
It's cstrikepodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, well, that's a little bit tricky.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, it's too
This is
long.
why you
otherwise.
don't put the responsibility on my hands.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If Kyle would have...
909 C-Strike is where you can call us.
Yeah. All right, and Platform Nation, blah, blah. Leave us an iTunes review. We'd really appreciate that. And we will see you next week. Or 2 weeks. No, fuck. 2 weeks from now.
It's Thanksgiving weekend. Sweet.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you 3 weeks from now.
Nah, you never know. I should probably be around.
All right, we'll figure that out.
I'm sure everyone wants to hear about our planning.
We'll see you guys at some point. Goodbye.
Bye.
I'm watching Harry Potter on mute and making up my own words. Dumbledore just called both these kids cunts.
Harry Potter.
I think you've just ruined Harry Potter for me.
No, it's fun watching movies on mute. My stories are much better.
Which movie was it?
It's the third one, Prisoner of Azkaban.